This is Kugan Cassius for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Dave Allen and also Hughie Fury. I'll start with you, Hughie. How are you, mate?
Very good, thank you very much, Kugan. All
Dave,
good.
You all good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
So people wouldn't have seen all this, but Dave's had to move around his house to find somewhere where he's comfortable and that we can see him. So you're all right positioned there, you are?
Yeah, I'm all right for now, yeah. Can't feel me arm, but it'll be all right.
Okay. Now, in a recent interview I did with Eddie Hearn, he did say that he quite likes this fight between the pair of you as a potential fight. But I'll start with you, Hughie, about this. You put a tweet out recently on social media to say that you wanted to fight Dave. Can you just talk to me about kind of the process behind why you did that?
Yeah, Dave does a few interviews and he keeps saying he wants to fight, so let's make it happen.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. You know what I'm like, I'm a fighting man. I love to fight. So one of them, like you say, mention the name, let's do it. You know, I'm not afraid of a challenge. And
Dave, your kind of initial response to seeing Hughie's social media posts about wanting to fight you?
No, well, I started it. Matchroom contacted me and said, do you want to box behind closed doors, Dave? And I said, I'd like to, if possible, please, yeah. So they said, who do you want to box? And I said, well, I'm rated 10 in Britain. So I said, the top 4 are boxing UC, the boxing Pure Lev, the boxing Wilder, or the boxing Povetkin. They're tied up. I said, Nathan Gorman, Dubois, and Joyce with Frank Warren. I said, Hughie and David Price are above me. I said, I'll box either of them. I said, if not, I'll drive away, you know. So that's where Hughie's name got mentioned with that. When they asked, I'll box the 2 that are rated above me, if possible, please, yeah.
So this is really a question that you can both answer, and I'll start with you, Hughie. What's the benefit of your career to fight Dave Allen at this stage?
Like I say, I have a fantastic career. Like I say, for what I've achieved, I've been in with some great names. Like I say, I've holding myself high. And believe me, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, I've fallen a bit short. I'm not one of them with excuses in fights. One of them. I will get to the top, 100%. It's like the fights will come. At the minute with this coronavirus happening, if we can only fight, obviously, it'll be just British fighters. But like I say, me and Dave Allen, it'd be a good fight. The fans want to see it, so let's make it happen.
And Dave, same question to you, really. The benefit of fighting Hughie at this stage of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the top 10. I don't really want to box anyone below. I think the top 10 in Britain's a good top 10, you know, and I'm bringing up the rear. I guess I'm number 10, but you look above you, I guess, you know. So I just looked at the realistic fights that could happen. Hughie and David Price were the only 2 with Matchroom that I could fight, you know. And I guess if it wasn't this whole coronavirus thing, I'd be looking to box someone at Hughie's level again, but probably someone from abroad, you know, like I'm at the point of my career now where I'm like, I'm the opponent, you know, I'm the away fighter for a big name, you know, and Hughie's boxed for the world titles, so I'm the away fighter, I'm the opponent, maybe not the away fighter, but I'm the opponent, you know. So I guess that's my role at the minute. Either that or, you know, I'm just a popular ticket seller, you know, propping up a show. So it's one or the other. And with behind closed door shows, I can't prop it up as a ticket seller, can I? So I'd have to be the opponent to Hughie or to David Price, which would be absolutely fine. So that was that, yeah.
You both have got some very credible opponents on your resume. I'll start with you, Hughie. Who's got kind of the strongest resume in terms of opponents out of you and Dave? Because this is interesting because you've both fought very top level heavyweights.
Like you say, yes, we have fought very good heavyweights, and like you say, he's fought some good names. I fought some good names. Like you say, you let people do the judging and the talking about that one. Like you say, I've never been shy of a challenge or shy of fighting. I don't really look at people's resumes. If they say to fight, I'm just happy to fight. It's one thing I do love to do is fight.
Same question to you, Dave. Who do you think's got the stronger resume?
Well, thing with me and you, I used to live with him. You know, I spent a lot. His dad's one of my favourite people in the world. His dad was great to me. So I followed Hughie's career from the beginning. I called him out after 3 fights with you that time, and then he invited me over. I sparred with Louis Tyson and Luke Watkins over in Warrington. So followed his career from the very beginning. You know, and I look at Hughie and I think people say he's a very good boxer. You know, but he's he's not this and that, and they say I'm very tough and I can't box. So for me, I look at you and I think he's super, super tough. You know, people don't realise how tough he is. People look at me and say I can't box when I can box. So I don't really look at my resume and think, oh well, I boxed him. I don't look at you and say, well, he did it to box them, because the most important fights we've had, you know, we've come unstuck. I've not been good enough, and Hughie's not been ready for him. So I only really look at my record. I look at the fights I've won. You know, my best win's Nick Webb or Bracamonte. You know, I boxed Ortiz, I boxed Yoker, I boxed White, but I got beat. So really and truly, when I look back on my career, I'm not going to, people know me for losing my fights, you know, so I don't really look at my resume and say, well, I got beat by him, that makes me look good. I beat Nick Webb and Bracamonte, that's about as good as it gets for me, and Hughie's beat Radenko and that, and I look at them, you know, it's great to be in these big names, but I'd love to be one day. That's what we're in the sport for, really, to win the big ones, not just to participate in them.
I mean, you could also, even though he didn't win the fight, but a lot of people did believe that Hughie beat Joseph Parker years ago.
Yeah, you know, I think with me and Hughie right now, like I say, if the fight happens, it happens. You know, it just comes down to the money for me. I'm 28 years old. How long have I got left in boxing? Maybe not long, you know. So I'm just after the biggest fights possible, and behind closed doors, David and Hughie were the biggest fights for me. And it can't happen now anyway, which is why I said to you when you said, let's do this, I said, not really much point because it can't happen anyway, but here we are.
Well, listen, boxing is kind of on the verge of returning at some point next month, so it is a possibility to happen at some stage. You're both under Matchroom, you're both under MTK as well, so there's no reason why, if you both want this, that you both can't have the fight.
No, 100%. Like you say, I believe this fight could happen behind the closed doors, and probably will happen. Like I say, Eddie's the man, so it's all in Eddie's hands.
Down to Eddie.
Yeah, I told Eddie I'll box whoever he wants. I said, just pay him with the money. So I'm not really asked. I'll box anybody. I box. People say, oh, David, why are you asking for loads of money to fight certain people? I said, because I took $9 grand down for boxing Luis Ortiz, so I won't mind making some back now. Do you know what I mean? It'd be nice, wouldn't it? So it's one of them. I just want to. I've not got long left. I just want to fight the biggest names possible, and I truly believe on my day, I'm capable of beating some of the really good heavyweights. So it's just a case we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm not really worried, to be honest. Whatever will come up will come up. It's what's meant to be will happen.
We know that White Povetkin will feature on this Matchroom fight camp, but are you guys led to believe that the money is there for the pair of you to possibly have this fight behind closed doors on one of these shows?
I mean, it depends, you know. Depends. I don't know what you want to get paid. I don't really need to know. It's none of my business. So I know what I would like to get paid. I know what I think Hughie is worth. Daniel Dubois was worth X amount, and Hughie's not done anything that Daniel Dubois has not done. So I would expect the same. You know, that's where I'm at with it.
Same question to you, Hughie.
Like I said to you, I don't really get involved in figures or politics or stuff like that. I'm a fighting man, so it doesn't bother me like if it's in the backyard or anywhere else. So if it is, we fight. Simple. Dave Allen said he'll take the fight. I said I'll take the fight. So, like you say, it's all in Eddie's hands. Yeah, let's get the fight on. It never bothers me. Fight's a fight. I love to fight and I enjoy it. It's all part of the thrill. So, like you say, it'd be good. Like Dave Allen said, we've known each other for a long time. Years ago when he challenged me out, then we come down, we had a spar, and that's it. And yeah, like I say, he's been in our camps and everything like that. The fight has always been bound to happen sooner or later. So, like I say, I'm ready for the fight. Always have.
While you two were kind of spending time with each other all them years ago, did you two talk about ever potentially fighting in the future? Did that conversation ever come up?
No, listen, like I say, this is a fighting game, isn't it? We train, you fight people, you spar. It doesn't make a difference. At the end of the day, we're in the sport. You can fight anyone. So it's not about having that negativity or having something against someone when it's just a fight, isn't it? It's what we do. It's our sport. Simple.
What did you take, Dave, from his performances against Parkers and Pulev, etc.?
Well, it's difficult to say because I'm not as good as Parker, Pulev, and Povetkin. So it's totally different, isn't it? That's like saying it's all really nonsense. It's a case of if I turn up on a good going day, I'm an hard fight for anybody. If I turn up on a day where I bought David Price, I'd probably get my face jabbed in and stopped in 6 or 7 rounds. It's as simple as that. And at 28 years old now, I've grown up and matured to the point where I can talk all I wanted. I could have come on here and made a show of myself and whatever else, but I'm 28 years old. You know what I mean? If the fight happens, if anyone wants to put the money up that I'm told it's worth, then it'll happen. If it don't, it don't. I'm not really bothered either way. Like you said, it's a fight. You know, I don't really look like a fighting man. I still believe I'm more handsome than you is. So I don't.
Listen, I beg to differ there. 100%. I beg to differ. If you want to put a poll on that one, 100%. What do you say, Dugan?
I'm not getting involved in who's the best looking out of the two of you. Fucking hell. I'm not getting involved in that discussion.
No, but as Hughie said, though, there's no animosity. I look at Hughie's dad. Brendan Ingleside, Hughie's dad's the most influential man I've met in boxing. Like the man that really. I used to look at Hughie's dad and just I had the most respect and admiration for him. And me and Hughie have always got on well as well. You know, I'd like to think that, you know, I was a friend of the family, and every time I see any family member, you know, we get on great. So if the fight happens and it makes financial sense, I'm not sure it'd be the greatest fight, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not really too worried about it. The world will get back to normal. If me and Hughie don't happen, we'll both get big fights elsewhere. So it just comes down to that for me anyway.
I've spoken to a few people kind of just like off the record about this fight, and a lot of them have suggested that this is like a distance fight. But they've also said that if Hughie decides to turn this into like a fight, then it would be a fight. Is that a fair comment? Dave?
Are you asking me, sorry?
Well, I'm asking both of you. I'll start with you about that. About people saying that if Hughie decides to come and kind of bring it to you, then it will turn into a fight.
I don't really know, to be honest. I can box a little bit. Like I can box a little bit. I can move. I can be very awkward and negative. Hughie's dad tried to get me boxing when I joined Peter. He had me boxing all the time. All he wanted me to do was box. Said you got good feet, move. I boxed like Alabama. I had a decent performance. I'm not stupid enough. If I walked on top of Hughie like I did David Price, I'd get my head jabbed in. And people say Hughie can't punch. He's a 17-stone man. He'll hit hard enough, and you walk onto the end of his jab for a couple of rounds with 10-ounce gloves on. You know, I like to think I'm a tough man, but there's only so much you can take. So, if the fight happened, I wouldn't be as stupid to think I'm going to try and walk straight for him, because I wouldn't. So, you know, if the fight got made, I'd have to worry about it then. But I realise he'd be a big favourite against me. You know, on paper he'd be a big favourite. So it's one of them, isn't it? I'm sat here talking about a fight that I don't believe will happen, because I just don't think. Because Eddie said the finances don't make sense, and for me, all I want is a nice detached house, maybe own 10% of a racehorse, and go and live my life happily ever after. You know, so I'm just talking about a fight that's probably not going to happen. So I don't really have much enthusiasm about it, to be honest.
I'll kind of adapt that question to you, Hughie. How does this fight kind of play out in your head?
Listen, you can go on about it, and we can talk the talk or whatever else. The only way to do it, isn't it, is make the action. If the fight happens, we'll fish do the talking. It's a fight. But like I say to you, we can get involved in figures or whatever. I'm not really bothered about the figures. Like you say, it's all on Dave Allen's course. Like I say, I don't care whatever the figures will be or whatever. Take the fight. So we'll see.
Dave, name me 2 pros and 2 cons of Hughie Fury as a boxer.
As a boxer?
Yeah, as in strengths and weakness. 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses as Hughie as a boxer.
Hughie listens very, very well to his dad. You know, him and his dad's relationship is fantastic. You know, I used to be around him all the time, and it was great. You know, if Peter used to say something, Hughie would just do it. You know, I look at when I train Danny now, and it's very similar. You know, got a good relationship. Hughie listens very well to instruction. You know, if his dad says it, he just follows it and does it. He's very tough. I think he's very underrated how tough he is. You know, people always say to me, "Oh, Dave Allen's tough." Hughie Fury's very tough, super, super tough. You don't go 12 with the Pulevs and the Povetkins and the Parkers of the world. If you're not, you've got to be, people can say he's negative, he boxes negative. You've got to be very tough to go 12 rounds with men like that. So that's another positive. Negatives, I've not shared a ring with him for years and years. I last sparred you in Bolton maybe 2016, and he wasn't the strongest, but he was only a kid. And really, for an heavyweight boxer, he's still got a lot of growing to do now. So it would be unfair for me to say that he's not very strong, because I wouldn't know. It's been 4 years, so a lot changed in 4 years. I could box Hughie next month and be expecting the Hughie at 21. That wasn't the physically strongest or the hardest hitter. And 4 years, 4 years of hard training and developing could be totally different. But he's very, very tough. He's very tough. He listens very well, and he's very experienced. They're the three things that you can see on the TV. So they're the obvious ones, I feel.
And Hughie, same question about Dave. Really, strengths and weaknesses.
Like I say, Dave, his strength is a nice guy, and
that's not go very well though. That's like a backhanded insult about my boxing ability.
That was totally, yeah.
No, it's like anything. Listen, Dave, he's done very well, and he's come on with his career. It's like anything. The more the fights he's had, the more experience he's got, and the more he's improved with these fights he's had. And like you say, yeah, you can beg to differ in some of these fights. Yeah, he doesn't throw as much, but that's what. Remember when it was back in the day when my dad, it was about throwing the more shots. Like you say, but Dave has come on from that, tremendous. But the fight, like I say to you, we've both improved since then. Time is the more, especially like on my side, the more age I come, the more I fill out, and no one's even seen the best of me yet.
Sorry, I thought that was hilarious. Can you name some of Dave Allen's strengths? Yeah, as a boxer, yeah, he's a nice guy. Sorry. So is the basic summary of this: Eddie Hearn, get your money out, and we'll do it.
I mean, for me, yeah, I'm not as wealthy as you, so I do tend to worry about what I'm getting paid, So
like I said, yeah, Eddie, get the fight on. I'm ready to take the fight whenever, wherever. Simple. Like I say, all on Dave Allen's ready. He said he'd take the fight. Let's get it sorted.
Okay, I'm going to let you two crack on with your day. Appreciate you coming on IFL and talking about a fight that may or may not happen. Only time will tell. But if it does happen, I'm sure we can refer back to this. So, final words from the pair of you, maybe to each other. Dave, to Hughie.
I think you're a nice man as well. Cheers. Thanks. So, yeah, thanks for that.
You're very welcome.
So you don't ask about him as well.
Yeah, I will do. Anyway,
Nice
I believe yous, and God bless yous all, and God bless the world as well, and especially with what's going on, isn't it?
Absolutely. Dave Allen, Hughie Fury, thank you very much on to IFL TV, and hopefully we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.